Putin. Pro-democracy tycoon Jimmy Lai's guilty verdict in Hong Kong is now being seen as a reflection of the brutal reality for the opposition movement, according to exiled activist Carmen Lau. Speaking from London, Lau, who's a senior international advocacy associate at the Hong Kong Democracy Council, expressed hope for the future of the pro-democracy cause despite the ongoing crackdown. Lai was a vocal critic of China and founder of the defunct Apple Daily, has already served 5 years in jail and faces more litigation under Hong Kong's controversial security law. Chinese authorities have rejected claims of eroding the rule of law, with Beijing labeling Lai as a mastermind of protests and a proponent of foreign sanctions. Lai's pre-sentencing hearing is scheduled for January 12, where he will have the chance to appeal for leniency. Let's listen in.
To me, the verdict comes as no surprise. It has been, the trial has been very, very long. And but what we could see from the courts, the outcomes of the national security law trial is pretty much predetermined. And Jimmy Lai has always been one of the targets of under the national security law. So Jimmy Lai is actually, one of the prominent target of the national security law. I don't really see Jimmy Lai's case as a tragedy of a single man, but it is a reflection of a, wider and, more brutal reality that, thousands of Hong Kongers are now under. We have almost 2,000 political prisoners in Hong Kong.
And now joining me in this discussion is Biao Teng, who's a Chinese lawyer and political activist, joins us live from Washington. Thank you, Dr. Teng, for joining us in this discussion. Now, you would know this is a very crucial verdict that has come in from Hong Kong, and one that has drawn a lot of international criticism. How do you react to this?
Yeah, Hong Kong's rule of law had been destroyed by the Chinese Communist Party in 2020 by the national security law. And Jimmy Lai's case showed that the rule of law is gone, Hong Kong's freedom is gone, and Beijing has totally destroyed its commitment by the one country, two system. It's kind of an international commitment. It's not just a law in China. And Jimmy Lai is one of the leading pro-democracy activists, and he's kind of the #1 target by the national security law. And from the trial, from the whole process, we can see that it's extremely unfair. Hong Kong's judicial independence doesn't exist anymore. Jimmy Lai's lawyer, the British lawyer, was denied. His bail was denied, given his health, concerning health situation, given he's almost 80 years old. And he was imprisoned in solitary confinement for a long, long time. And his communion, he's a Catholic, his Holy Communion was also denied. And Hong Kong's judiciary is more and more like mainland China. It's already been mainlandized in many different perspectives.
Dr. Teng, do you think that dissent is completely shrinking in Hong Kong, even as China continues to maintain that it has no interference in Hong Kong's legal system? Would you say it's a doublespeak?
Yeah, Hong Kong's freedom, Hong Kong's civil society had strength very much, and Beijing wants to cheat the international community. They want the so-called tell good stories about China, and the propaganda has been more and more aggressive. But we know from the case of Jimmy Lai, from many other political prisoners in Hong Kong, and also the deteriorating human rights situation in Tibet, in East Turkestan, and mainland China. It's clear that China's human rights record is one of the worst in the whole world. But at the same time, the Chinese government becomes more and more aggressive on the international stage. It has been a huge threat to the rule-based international order.
All right, Mr. Tang, now there's also a statement that's come out from the son of Jimmy Lai, who's saying that China is weaponizing the legal system. How do you react to those claims, and also whether international condemnation on the verdict is going to help Jimmy Lai's case anymore?
Beijing is always politicizing its legal system. I was a human rights lawyer and dissident in China, and in political cases, in human rights cases, or every sensitive case, it is not the court, not the judges who make the final decision. It is some people, some government officials or party officials who have the final say. And Jimmy Lai's case is definitely politicized. So it is not a legal decision. It's definitely not based on the evidence, on the procedure, on the legal arguments. It's based on political consideration. It's 100% politicized. But I think the international community, especially the democratic countries, should pay more attention to this case. And it's not easy, but if we keep silent, if we don't give pressure, and Jimmy Lai's fate will be getting worse and worse, and the Chinese government won't release all the political prisoners in Hong Kong, and they will persecute more activists in Hong Kong and China. So yeah, for free countries, for the democratic governments, they do have leverage. They do have methods to give pressure to Beijing.
All right, we do hope that has some effect on the verdict. But for now, thank you, Dr. Ten, for joining us in this discussion. And viewers, we are going to move on. There's some breaking news coming in. US President Donald Trump suggested that the deaths of Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife were connected to Reiner